This is an example of Cubism, an art movement that challenged contemporary art with its geometric distortion of reality in paintings such as these ones, famously painted by Pablo Picasso and Georges Braque. This is Juan Gris's Cupid portrait of his mentor and friend Picasso, which he painted in 1912. Now, for the non-artistic viewers who are unfamiliar with his oeuvre, you may believe that this is genuinely his work. However, this is the actual painting that he painted in 1912, which, now that you see, you can probably see that there's a clear difference in the approach. The painting you just saw was generated from this prompt, which I inputted into this website called Night Cafe. I'm going to be using a few websites in this video, such as this one, to help me in my ongoing journey to learn about the current state of machine learning. In this video, my goal is to utilize these AI generators to create extraordinary pieces that harken back to the greatest minds in art. Whether it's recreating paintings or generating new ideas based off of various popular styles, we're going to be pushing these AI websites to the limit and seeing what this means for the future of artistry in humanity. Cue the intro. For the separate website tests, I'll have their timestamps up here if you want to skip to a particular part of the video, but without further ado, let's jump into the video with what we already know, Night Cafe. Alright, so we're here on Night Cafe, and I am using the free version. I'm not paying for any credits or something, so I'm going to be generating an image one at a time. We have the different settings here on the left, so if we go to algorithm, you can see that there's a couple of different AI, like you can recognize DALL-E 2, like, that's the thing, I'm going to say this right now, I tried going to DALL-E on the website to try and use it out for free, and it wouldn't give me any free credits because apparently a week before they stopped giving out free credits to people, so that's a shame. But we have it here, so we could try that out. And we have a couple others down here. We have Coherent, which is more control and better composition than Artistic. And then we have Artistic, create beautiful images from a test prompt. And then down here we have one where you can input an image, mix it with an already existing style like Van Gogh's Starry Night. But first, let's just try out Stable Diffusion and see how that looks. What's a prompt that we can use? We do have this random button here, so let's just press that and see. We have a desert sunrise. There's the style here, and ooh, we have a couple of good ones here. Origami, epic, abstract curves, modern set. Oh, dark fantasy. Let's try that. Okay, down here, the number of images. I don't want to spend any credits because I just want to like have a free experience, a cheap experience with these websites. I'm not paying for these websites. Now if we go to more settings, what do we have here? The output resolution, it doesn't matter too much because these are just regular tests. Oh, we can change the aspect ratio. Let's just try widescreen so that it fits on the actual video here. Alright, so with everything picked, let's generate. Here we go. And oh, that looks very wacky because you have the sunrise down here and you have the foreground like hills and rocks and trees and whatever. Up here you have the actual mountains and a little rocky overpass thing. So it's like they've blended two images together to try and match the desert and the sunrise type of elements. But let's try a different one. Let's see, random, a desolate wasteland. Oh, you can do oil painting. Let's try that. And create. Let's see, what's it look like? Ooh, I think it more matches the desolate landscape than a desolate wasteland because I thought it would be like a nuclear impacted wasteland that there would be so many more clouds, but I don't know, this is a pretty good image. It does resemble some of the American landscapes with those giant rock structures. I'll try and put the word up here. Let me see, let's just generate again and see if we get a different image. Oh no, it is pretty similar. It's just like a giant, I was about to say salt flat, but it's just a giant flat landscape, maybe a plateau of some kind. And doing it in the style of an oil painting, it's done the clouds really well and doing the different colors of things and doing a little shadow over here on the ground, a bit of lightness on the foreground here. I don't know, it's done a very good job at trying to identify different landmarks in a landscape of some kind. Alright, let's pick another random one. We've got the Arc de Triomphe lit up at night. Oh, what if we do like Cyberpunk? Let's just see what that looks like. Is it going to look so futuristic or is it just going to be a bit wacky? Oh, what? That looks so cool. Holy cow. I even love how at the bottom here, the streaks of light, it's like an overexposed shot at night of cars going up and down this main road. And you've even got the neon signs of like what are supposed to be flags along this road. And I like how this is all lit up and then you've got like the buildings here. This algorithm's nailed it. Okay, so we can see what Stable Diffusion has done, but let's swap over to something like DALL-E 2. Let's come up with our own prompt this time. What could be a bit wackier to try and throw off this thing? Okay, I've got one here. A man standing upside down on a roller coaster. Let's try anime version 2. Let's see if we can actually get the character to just like stand out. Alright, here we go. And oh, that's pretty good. From this angle, it almost looked like he's on a skateboard of some kind, and there's like a giant explosion from behind him. I thought that having the person upside down on a roller coaster would mess this up because, like, proportionally, I would think that the program would have learnt that it's just like people are usually just standing upright, not like this, or I don't know why I'm moving. I could just flip it and rotate it in edit. But it's done well there to try and meet the kind of idea that I was going for. Even though it's pretty basic, I don't know, it's just nailed it, I reckon. And I have realized here that it has used one of my 5 free credits, so maybe not DALL-E. Let's just see, what's another program I could use? Coherent? This algorithm is not supported in Studio Interface. Do you want to proceed to the actual thing? Okay. Okay, so it's just taking me to a different layout on the website. So we have the algorithm that's coherent. What do we want to do for this one? Alright, so this one's a bit of a weird one. Superman flying into a pit of zombies, ready to punch. And for style, I'd like to see what he looks like in a CGI character, if it actually matches the... what is that movie called? It's the one with the super dogs, and I'll try to put up his character right here. I'm curious to see if it generates something that's similar to what the actual one from the movie looks like. And this one does cost a credit, but I'm willing to make the sacrifice. Let's generate the image.
One eternity later.
Okay, here we go. I think we've got something. What? I don't get it. Where's the Superman? Because I don't know. Is this guy Superman? Is this guy Superman? Is this little blob in the corner Superman? I do like this blurred out representation of all the massive zombies, but it is incoherent. It's very abstract, but it's not enough abstract for artists to be like, I would buy this for $1 million. Okay, so what we've learned from this little test is that coherent is a no-go. This isn't really the one. So we're now on artistic, and we're going to see if our prompt is going to be good with this one. Okay, so I've randomly generated this prompt, abandoned mining town. And I really like this one because down here there's a bunch of these different ones where it's a representation of a house in different styles, and I want to see if one of these would suit this one. Oh, I do like the Sinister one. If it is an abandoned mining town, then Sinister might be a good match. Advanced options. Looking for styles, you'll find them under add modifiers when you can even have more control. Add modifiers. These are the different styles. So let's go down to Sinister again. Wait, what? Abandoned Mining Town Sinister by Greg Rutkowski. Wait, who is this guy? Holy cow, look at these illustrations. Like, look at this one for crying out loud. What? Holy cow, this looks amazing. Okay, I think I get it now. Now that we've gone into the advanced options and we picked the style, it's picked out a specific artist because it has learnt from previous artworks that have been made. Specifying a particular artist means that the AI will focus trying to gain inspiration directly from Greg's pieces. I hope that all made sense, but let's just try this. Okay, it has generated. Let's have a look at it. Whoa, man, I hate that it's so small, but wait, let me just zoom in. That is very cool. I don't know, the quality of it looks like it's just on a DS screen, but man, just look at this. You got the little pathways, you got open windows with light, you've got the forest in the background with like clouds, and it has the mud on the ground, the tracks. This looks very realistic. It's very interesting to see what type of layouts that these AI generators can come up with, in particular with buildings and landscapes, not essentially people, because it's still trying to figure out what people look like, I guess. But to think of it this way is generating an idea for you what a type of location could look like, or maybe in a book, what a location in a book could look like, whether it's a mansion, whether it's like an abandoned mining town. There's so many possibilities that this AI visually it can help you out so much. So now that we know the basics, let's use some prompts that I've asked from my friends, since that's what we did in the last episode, and I don't know, it was pretty funny and very wacky at some parts. So, our first batch of prompts comes from my artist friend called Prince, who you can go check out on Instagram, where he occasionally posts awesome art and concepts. His first prompt was burnt ashes encroaching upon the twilight sky. Did I also mention that he's a professional writer? Anyway, I set up the AI with the prompt in the surreal style, and this was the result. I can see the idea of the pillars of smoke and ash rising from the ground into the sky, but it is indeed surreal. So surreal in fact that the AI included an avocado. The second prompt was an endless valley of hands, which I was definitely keen to see. Once I generated it though, I wasn't too keen to see it anymore. But I cannot lie, I love how ethereal and majestic it looks, and that's probably due to picking the hyperreal style. And finally from Prince, he wants to see a friendly abomination, so let's show him. Huh. Well, as terrifying and real as that looks, at least he's smiling. Alright, our next website is Dream Studio, and it looks very similar, but a bit more polished, I'd say. As you can see here, you have the different styles, your prompt. You can have a negative prompt, so if you don't want something in a generated image, you can upload an image if you want to try and take that image and put a weird, unique style on it with the AI. You have settings on the type of resolution that you can get with the pixels, or you can have how many images you want. For this, of course, we're only going to have one image. We might want to have it like wide scale. We don't want to upload any images. And before the prompt, let's have a look at the different styles that we have here. We have enhanced, we've got anime, that looks pretty good. Comic book, we got fantasy art, we got isometric, which kind of looks like a little pixel art game. Wait a minute, no, we got the pixel art down here. We even have craft clay, we have cinematic origami. This looks very cool. The other website obviously had a lot more styles, but we're just gonna have to see how well this does with quality in relation to the prompt. Let's start out with a random prompt. So here we go, a high-rise residential building with unique form, a facade featuring terraces and stunning views, minimalist, high-end architectural design. How the f did it come up with that? But anyway, let's pick a style. Digital art, comic book, analog film. Isometric could be pretty good. Alright, so we got the style of isometric, we got the prompt, we got the resolution and stuff. Let's dream. Alright, we've got the image here. Whoa, this looks very cool. Wow, this is amazing. You even got people down here with, one leg? Imagine if architects would actually use AI type of programs to come up with these unique ideas. If we zoom in here, you can even see like the rooms. It looks like there's like bookshelves or something. Wow, I just love the idea of patches of grass, just making it a lot more natural. And I don't think grass produces oxygen. I might be wrong there, but it just looks very urban in the sense that it's in correlation with nature. It's white looking, there's different layers, it's very broken up, but it looks amazing. Wow, that's a great start from this very complex prompt. Let's try a different one. Alright, I've randomly generated this prompt. Breathtaking view of the Serengeti with roaming wildlife, vast, high detail nature landscape. And of course this was randomly generated, but I want to actually add something into this. A UFO flies overhead. Alright, so let's pick a different style for this one. Comic book, maybe not, because this isn't a natural landscape, and it might be good to make it a little realistic, I guess? We could do cinematic. Alright, let's try that. A cinematic version of the Serengeti with the UFO. It's funny, I've been recording this for 2 hours and the video's only probably like 10 minutes in or something. Alright, here we go. This is the image. Wait, what? What the heck is this? It looks like those dishes that fancy people eat out of with the little dome thing with the food in. If this image didn't include that, it would look very picturesque. I mean, like, look at the UFO up here. I love how it's done, like, the grass down here and the sky. Even this cloud, which I thought at first looked like the UFO because, I don't know, it just reminded me of the film Nope. But it's done so well, even with, like, the light, like, reflecting off of this UFO here, and just everything about it, it looks amazing. Okay, one more random one, and then we're going to do some prompts from my mates. Before picking the prompt, I want to see what particular style that I want to focus on for this one, because whatever style that we pick could be the baseline for whatever prompt we write down. Like, I would like to see what the fantasy art looks like with this prompt here, which is the glowing aurora borealis over a frozen lake with towering mountains in the distance, ethereal magical winter landscape, high detail. So yeah, let's just see what this looks like. Don't mind me, I'm just gonna get myself some water. Alright, I'm back with my water. Alright, let's see what this looks... Holy cow! cow! That is so picturesque. I love the little wave things up the top here of like the Aurora Borealis. And I love the effect that the sun's doing here. And you can see that it's kind of like reflecting off of the water a little bit. What is that? Refracting against these mountains here? What is the term for that? When a very bright light is put right at the edge of a surface? What do you call that? Future William, Google that. Show it on the screen right now. No. But holy cow, if I had this at a large resolution, then this would become my wallpaper. Let's have a look. It is upscaled to nearly 1920 by 1080, so that is pretty good. Alright, and now it is time to look at the different prompts that my friends have sent me for this generator. So, our next round of prompts actually comes from my sister, who has her own art business called French Rose Studios, so I strongly recommend you go check that out. Anyway, the first prompt is a sunset over a wildflower field, and with the help of the anime style type, this was the outcome. I am so happy with how the clouds came out, how they're positioned, and the radiating warmth of the afternoon sun cast over the flowers. Overall, an incredible job by the computer. Prompt number 2 is just simply European rooftops, a great architectural image. And here's the result, which also looks amazing. I chose the comic style for the AI to give the building some character, I'd say, and I like the blend of the red rooftops and grey buildings with the brownish gradient sky in the background. Again, very nice. And the last prompt links back to our Australian wildlife, a koala hugging a joey. However, I think this AI doesn't like joeys that much because they forgot to add one in. Regardless, this one's very cute. So our final AI program that we're going to be using today is going to be a demo of Stable Diffusion. I didn't realize when I went to the Night Cafe in the original one that it also used the destable. I didn't realize that it also used Stable Diffusion as an AI program for the different styles that it would do. I don't know, but I do want to still use this one because it doesn't have many settings that you can play around with because it's obviously a demo. You can't pick a specific style or a resolution or how many images you actually want. It is a locked interface, so you can't really do much with it except for putting in a prompt and seeing what it generates. But regardless of all that talk, let's just get into it. On this front page here, I am seeing a couple of ones of these people, and I actually want to see how well it can do human face, so let's try that for the first part. Alright, here's the first one. A man with black hair, glasses, and massive muscles. Does that remind you of anyone? Anyone in particular? Not ringing any bells? I can't do this. This is so weird. Alright, generating image. Let's just see what it does. Holy cow! Look at this guy's muscle. Wait, that's not even a tank top. That's just a weird neck scarf or something. What even the hell is this? This is not even a man at this point. This is just a chest. This guy. What the hell happened to this guy's hand? There's so many veins, there's one finger. It's like he dipped his hand in lava or something. But for the point that I'm doing this prompt, I actually want to see what the face looks like. The smile is not too bad, the beard is pretty good, but it does look like it's a bit melted. The eyes are looking in different directions, the smile is a bit goofy. I also like here with the shadows, like it is adhering to what real life circumstances would be like, but of course the eyes is always what fails at this point. But I'd say this is the most accurate version of a human so far, although I don't know what's going on here. Is it like he's doing something like that? Okay, instead of a man, let's try a woman. Alright, it's generated. Oh, here we go. My goodness, this lady here is ripped. I think there's a particular thing that this AI is picking up with like the massive muscles and muscular, that there's so many veins that are popping out, but just the different muscles that pop out. This one has done a very good job of the hair here, although the face is a bit wacky when it comes to the eyes. Maybe we could just excuse it for the lenses, but it does do the shape pretty well with the whole body. I don't know what's up with the shirt, but I don't know, it's very accurate. This one is just nightmare fuel. What the hell is going on with the teeth here? And then it looks like she's just a demon with these black eyes. But that was a pretty good test. Let's try and move on from people now. Alright, I think this one's pretty interesting. A grey office tower in the middle of a desolate moon. Let's generate the image. Here we go, and Oh wow, this looks cool. This is my favorite. I do like the moon surface here, and then there's like a small kind of glow around this tower. This one has the most realistic moon with the type of glow, and this is a weird skinny tower. And then you have the last image here with the kind of cartoonish tower there, but I do like it with the landscape here that it is very rocky like it would be on the moon. Alright, so I got the prompt here. A YouTuber recording a video on a mountain. I was about to say a YouTuber recording a video in an office, as I'm doing right now, to see the parallels, but I don't know, I thought this one would be a pretty funny one to generate. Okay. Oh, there's a giant spider right there. Wait a sec. I need something to kill it. And die. There you go. Alright, now let's look. Whoa, this looks good. It does have the setup here where it's like the mountain landscape, but then it gets a bit weird with the tripod here, and the hand is kind of disjointed from the body. It even has a little mountain on the screen. And then this one, it does make sense with the hands. It is more accurate with that and the camera and of course the landscape, but then the thing that doesn't sell it, what's going on with the video here? Okay, now before I try some friends prompts on this one, I'm gonna add this, because I was so inspired by how the advanced version did it on, what was it, Night Cafe, that did the by Greg Witkowski on the end of it. I want to see if this actually changes the style in some type of way, because if it does, that could be a little life hack into the demo. Okay, you know what? It actually has done a pretty good job. It's kind of like, I don't know if it's oils, it is kind of paintery, the kind of clouds, type of shape of like the person with the weird hands in the tripod. It is kind of correct. I don't know if they actually know the pieces of art that this guy Greg has actually made, but it is kind of going in that direction. This is a bit more lifelike, like it's on a VHS or something, because this guy's got a little cord connected to his camera that's sort of non-existent, but this does look really cool. I do like how the tree looks in this. Alright, now it's time to use our friends' prompts and seeing how well it's going to be used in this website. Yeah, about that. It's about 9 o'clock at night right now, and one of my friends hasn't gotten back with their prompt yet, so I haven't been able to record that into the video, so I'm skipping over this part. I'm sorry if you wanted to see some more prompts from my friends, but I'm just going to skip over to the end of the video where we do the master test. Alright, it's now time for the ultimate test, to see how accurate and creative these machine learning applications can be against each other. Let's get into it. Alright, and our first prompt is Homer Simpson, because of course he is a classic cartoon character. In the top left we have Night Cafe, who have done a pretty good concept drawing that pretty much looks similar to the character. And in the top right we have Dream Studio, who have done a weird duplicating kind of thing, but I do like how it's very good quality about it, and he's actually sitting on a couch. And at the bottom we have Stable Diffusion Demo, and it does look pretty wacky and weird, so for this round I'll probably have to give it to Dream Studio. The next one is the classic of Vincent van Gogh, The Starry Night. Both Night Cafe and the Stable Diffusion Demo have pretty much done the same thing by exactly replicating the actual thing, but it's funny how Dream Studio took it to a different level by actually having him in that. Out of these three, I'd have to give it to the Stable Diffusion Demo because it does have a bit more popping colors to it. Next we have the classic Scream, and it's essentially just recreated the original Scream painting, but the Dream Studio has weirdly duplicated it, even though the quality is much higher on that one. I don't think that one's a winner. And the Stable Diffusion Demo doesn't have a better quality than Night Cafe, so this one will have to go to Night Cafe as well. Now this next one is a bit different because I found this article recently that had a bunch of artists that created paintings or digital art that talked about a positive future. And as you can see here, a man and his dog in a green field with a futuristic city in the background looked pretty cool to me. And this one is actually very hard to choose because they all pretty much nailed the aesthetic of what the prompt is actually going for, but I'd have to give it to Night Cafe because I do like the textures of the grass and the trees and the hue of the sky just kind of blocking out the city in the distance, but they do nail the man and his dog very well. Next we have Spider-Man, another classic cartoon character. And these ones have done a very good job. They have different styles. I think the Night Cafe one does look a bit wacky, but the one that Dream Studio did does resemble the old television series very well. I'll have to give it to Dream Studio. Another obscure one that I want to do is the dune scene from the Mad Max Fury Road movie, because I think this shot with the woman kneeling in the sand is just such an iconic shot from the 2010s, I reckon. Although I think a couple of these AI were having a tough time about it, so I think I'll have to give it to the Stable Diffusion Demo, because the woman in the image does resemble the actual lady from the movie. And then we have a fun one, we have Pengu. Nerd, nerd. And a couple of these are wacky, none of them really resemble the character from the show that I loved as a kid, but I probably have to give this to the Stable Diffusion demo again. Man, this thing's winning. And then we have the classic Mona Lisa by Leonardo da Vinci. The first and third AI programs definitely did a great job at recreating it, but then the Dream Studio did a weird morphing type of effect where it had a person on a person. This is so weird. I don't know. Let's just give it to the Stable Diffusion. So, with wrapping up the test, you probably know that there is a clear winner, so congratulations Stable Diffusion Demo, you did a fantastic job of passing those ground tests. However, my preference out of the three going through this video was definitely Dream Studio because it just brought a quality that the other two didn't really bring, just for, I guess, landscapes in particular, because it just did such a fantastic job and I absolutely love it. I really want to use it in the future, but both of the other AI programs did a fantastic job as well. All of them collectively just blew me away of what they're capable of. But now I know a lot more about AI art, and hopefully you do too, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, smash like, and if you like it even more, why don't you share it with your friends and family, because they might like it as well. And for the outro, I was thinking of doing a slideshow of all the great images that we generated in this video with the best piano music of all time playing in the background. I hope you enjoy.